was a fair election because it looks like Donald Trump won fair and square. How did he win fair and square? Hillary had more votes. More human beings voted for Hillary. This isn't fair. We didn't get one vote. You didn't get a vote. It's just like back in the day when your vote was 1/3. The Electoral College, here's somebody who wants to blow that up. Ready to do Electoral College. Just count the votes. It's ridiculous. Hillary, you're a lawyer. Walk in. Go to the Supreme Court. I believe in you, Hillary. I've been to Rwanda. I've been to your hospital in Rwanda. I've seen all the good you've done. I believe in you. Women need you. Minorities need you. I need you. Chicago needs you. We all need you. This country needs you to stand up and walk into the Supreme Court and say one vote equals one vote. What's wrong with that? What's the debate? I definitely feel his passion. There's other people out here who feel the same way. At one point, you had people who were blocking his road. Chicago police moved in. Everything has remained peaceful. Like I said, Don, as you see, thousands of people still continue to gather. But like your brother Smith, very passionate about the idea. He doesn't really side. Yeah, Brian, you know, I used to live there, and I know that guy. That's John Durkovic. He actually went to Africa with me as a cameraman. But anyway, that's another story. All right, thank you, John. Thank you very much, Ryan. I want to get back to Jason. Jason, you've been covering.
The clip you just watched was shot in November of 2016, directly after Donald Trump was elected President of the United States. CNN attempted to pass off their own cameraman as a random protester. Their cameraman would go on a rant to an African-American journalist about how his vote only counted as 1/3, clearly attempting to stoke up racial divide and anger in the country, to make women and African-Americans feel as if their votes don't count, as if they've been disenfranchised once again in America. At the end of the clip, Don Lemon at CNN mentions that he knows the cameraman. The problem is, the cameraman protester was introduced as a random protester. Don Lemon wasn't aware of the gig, and CNN was exposed as pushing fake news, pushing lies, and pushing propaganda. The next clip was shot in June 2017, following a terrorist attack in the city of London. What you just witnessed was CNN staging a protest that didn't happen, that they would go on to report was a random protest by Muslims in London against the ISIS terrorist attack. This is more fake news from CNN. Fake narrative-driven news, lies, propaganda from CNN.
Seemingly like the Russia thing's a little crazy, right? Even if Russia was trying to swing an election, we try to swing their elections. We're in our CIA and doing shit all the time. Like, we're out there trying to manipulate governments. Like, you win because you know the game and you play it right. She didn't play it right.
But why is CNN constantly like Russia this, Russia that?
Because it's ratings.
Because ratings?
Our ratings are incredible right now.
I mean, I understand it's all ratings, right?
It's a business. It's a business. People are like, the media has like an ethical, but all the nice, cutesy little ethics that used to get talked about in journalism school, you're just like, that's adorable. That's adorable. Yeah, it's business.
And that is why I decided I had to enter into citizen journalism. Because John Bonifield, CNN's supervising producer, who has been at CNN for 15 years, admitted in an undercover videotape captured by Project Veritas. I would strongly suggest you go watch that video. Go to Project Veritas on YouTube or Facebook. They have 8 minutes of clips. They also have a clip of Von Jones, CNN talking head, admitting that the entire Russia narrative is a nothing burger. As John Bonifield said, it's all about ratings, it's all about money, it's all about corporatism. And to me, this really is a teachable moment. I showed you the clip of CNN pretending their cameraman was a random protester. I showed you the clip of CNN readying spontaneous protesters to protest an attack by ISIS in London, and I showed you the undercover audio tapes of CNN's producer admitting that Everything is about money. It's about ratings, because the ratings lead to corporate sponsorships and commercials. And who does those commercials? Big Pharma takes those commercial spots. And Big Oil takes those commercial spots. So you want to look Big Pharma, for example. Why doesn't CNN talk about the epidemic that is prescription drugs in America? Because they're making all their money off of prescription drugs. Because they're the talking heads of the prescription drug dealers. Why don't they talk about the dangers of genetically modified organisms? Do you know where GMOs come from? GMOs are the genes of a food sliced in half and genetically modified so that they have a mold or a bacteria that Roundup doesn't kill. So that when they spray Roundup, which causes cancer, you can look that up, on all of our food, the GMO crops don't die. So they have no nutritional value, the soil is destroyed, and everyone in society is getting cancer. But CNN doesn't care because, hey, they're getting their money from Monsanto, the big food company. Or they're getting money from Big Pharma. And this goes for vaccines, fluoride. And I'm going to do videos on all of these things. So Pharma, if you're out there, I'm coming for you. This is a teachable moment. This is why we need to support grassroots journalism. The corporate mainstream media pushes propaganda. And they don't do it by accident. If I get something wrong, which I'm not perfect, I've been reporting stories for about 9 months, and 2 or 3 times I've gotten it wrong, and I've issued retraction. But that's small facts. It's an accident in reporting trying to dig through endless amounts of misinformation and false lies, really straight out lies. When CNN, when the big media companies do their fake news, it's not by accident, it's propaganda. So when they go on TV and tell you there's weapons of mass destruction in Iraq and they know they're not there, that leads to wars that kills millions of people, that destroys nations. So when they say if you like your healthcare plan, you can keep your healthcare plan, when anyone who looked into what the Obamacare bill was, the Affordable Healthcare Bill was, knew in advance that if you liked your healthcare plan, you could not keep your healthcare plan. And you could not keep your doctor. And I can speak personally because I've had to get 3 new doctors since Obamacare was launched. And it's nonstop. I've had to change my insurance company 2 times already. I'm going to have to change it a 3rd time. And that's the other thing. These corporate talking heads, they push their narrative-driven news to whatever narrative they want. I have no problem. I'll call out CNN, I'll call out Fox News, I'll call out Democrats, I'll call out Republicans. I bashed Obamacare, well, I'll bash Trump care, because right now, if the bill passes as it is, it's Obamacare 2.0. Because what they're doing is, the big thing with Obamacare is, okay, there are subsidies that we give to poor people. It's essentially, you give a tax on the middle class, and you redistribute that to the lower class. I don't think they're lower class people, but people who make less money, and you pay for their health care that way. So it's really redistribution from the middle class to the lower class, and it's high taxes. What is the new Republican bill proposing? Tax breaks, except what they don't tell you is it's tax breaks to people who aren't even paying the taxes. So it's just reversing the subsidy, and say, for example, if they paid $3,000 in taxes and you give them $10,000 in tax breaks, it's just redistribution of wealth. So the mainstream media, they don't tell you these things because they're pushing propaganda for pharma, for whatever it might be, for oil, and their lies, their propaganda leads to war. And this is why you need to support grassroots journalism, because grassroots journalism, citizen journalism, is the only way to fight back against this corporatism, this corporate government media establishment that has caused so much hurt and damage to this world. I don't know if it's me you want to support. Maybe there's someone else you like. But support grassroots media. A little bit of funding, allows people, citizens, to report truth that the mainstream media never will. I hope you support me. If you want to, go to www.patreon.com. Tom Anderson. As little as $1 a day makes all the difference in the world, because once I get to a breaking point, I'll be able to free my time up enough where I could report every day, and I will greatly enjoy. I'll go live every day. We'll talk about the events that are happening, and really what I like to do is my investigative journalism reports, where I dig into the primary sources and I can show you where stories originate from, how the media spreads lies, and what the truth is through primary documents, which if the mainstream media was being real with you, that's what they would do. They would show you the primary documents. So this was my little rant with the Project Veritas videos and CNN. I really strongly suggest you go to Project Veritas and watch the entire tapes of John Bonifield, and I think you'll get a kick out of that. So I had to touch base on it. I'll keep coming at you. I'm going to keep spreading truth. I'm Tom Anderson, FFR News.